Hello, my dear friends and family. How are you today? Hey, Hindsight, good to see you. Hello, Deafening, Raymond, Charlene, Cece. Our members live will be following this, you all. We've had some updates that I've been looking through, and so we're going to do this one and then go to our members live. Welcome in, Cece, Broken Branch, me and you, Janet, Town Chat. Good to see you. Hi, Beth. Hi, Minnie, Janet. Everyone, welcome in. Hi, Robin. We have many updates from AtNight and One World, and actually dogs included in those too. And they are separating. They are now no longer sending their stuff to, they're keeping their tips private from local and state law enforcement. And they mention in the update vanishing reports. So that made my stomach fall a little bit. I hope that there is everything that we know that should be there that we know of alone. You know, the skull, silver's turned in, the phone, pants, blanket, the eyeglasses, the audio, the video, all that should be there at the very minimal, right? I know I sent them the audio. So when they said missing reports, my stomach kind of got a little nervous. So this is about a child. We can't afford to be sloppy, you all. I'm really, really worried. I truly am. But today I want to begin with some time to honor those in Texas, to think of them, to pray for them. Those floods have unalive. We've lost 32 lives, 14 of which were children. And they are still searching for many people. And I know many of you here in the chat are from Texas. Hello, Pamela. If you're from Texas and you want to put that down in the chat, go ahead and put down that you're from Texas. Everyone, please give a thumbs up as you enter. This is really serious, not only about what's going in Texas, but also about what's happening in Sumner County for Sebastian Rogers, or should I say what's not happening. It's a little out of control. In my opinion, it sounds like Sumner County is doubling down, in my opinion, with their silence. So AtNight, One World, DOG, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, they're on board now with a billboard and showing what they will do, what they do. Although they missed that ransom demand, they are on the billboard now with DOG. TBI is searching for Summer, apparently. Hold on one second. I have a family member calling. Sorry about that. So they are doubling down, it seems, it appears. So AtNight in One World, they are keeping all of their tips secured and private now so they don't get lost and overlooked. So we've got a mess out in Sumner County. I've been checking for statements. I have been checking for statements from Sumner County, and they have made none. I was actually going to pick up the phone. I lost track of time and ask if they'd like to give a statement, but I did lose time, so I will be doing that in the next couple of days. I'm sure I'll get a big fat no, but give them an opportunity to say something. Hello, everyone coming in. We are going to listen a little bit about what is going on in Texas. We have lots of friends and family in Texas, and think about the lives that are lost that all began due to floods. It's just very terrible.
Sure. Waiting, particularly that had children in Camp Mystic. Camp Mystic is a camp that has over 750 kids. Right now, there are 20 some that aren't accounted for. That does not mean they've been lost. They could be in a tree. They could be out of communication. We're praying for all of those missing to be found alive. We're doing everything we can to get in there.
I guess that was just their little clip. Oh. Okay. They have posted a few of the children who have lost their lives that I would like to share with you. Hey, Frank, how are you? Hi, Lisa B. Always. You haven't missed anything. We're just coming in, honoring and talking about those lives lost in Texas before we get started on Sumner County. It is unbelievable what is happening. But I did want to share with you a few of the pictures that they did share with us of children who have lost their lives. This is, it says, she will live in our hearts forever. This is little Sarah Marsh, and her grandmother wrote that on Facebook. She's 8 years old and was found deceased. We love you so much, sweet Sarah. Lila has also lost her life. Her family confirmed her death in a statement in which they described suffering unimaginable grief, according to NBC News. Janie Hunt also died in the floods, according to a report. This is a flood gauge that marks the height of the water near Kerrville, Texas. Now, all of this is going on in, they call it the hills of Texas. Hold on one second. I'll give you the exact areas and stuff. Camp Mystic is a girls-only camp on the Guadalupe River, had to be evacuated overnight due to flooding. Look at the kids going through the waters. At first, I thought that was sand. Muddy towels and clothing hung on a clothesline outside of the camp cabin. The camp was completely destroyed. Eleanor Lester, 13, one of the evacuated campers, told the Associated Press, as seen here with a missing wall on this building. A photo shows flooding caused by the flash flood at the Guadalupe River in Kerrville, Texas. Wow, look at that. Now, I have evacuated in Texas due to Hurricane Harvey, and it was unbelievable too. But that was not where we had a whole bunch of children at a camp, right? A picture of Camp Mystic in Texas where catastrophic flooding occurred. And to all the first responders, we know what they do is not easy. They put their lives on the line to save lives. Look at that. Devastating. That's how my island looked a little bit when we returned after Harvey, just debris everywhere. People were in kayaks floating down the streets. People look on as law enforcement and volunteers continue to search for missing people near Camp Mystic. Just chokes me up. Renee Majastria was found dead during flood searches, her family said. And there's the bunk room. And I have an article about the camp real quick I want to share with you all. Sorry. Sorry, y'all, I'm coming. They refer to this as the hill country. So let me go ahead and share with you. Sorry about that. It's just very heartbreaking. So many lives have been lost. Kids left for camp, kissed their mommies. The girls left, kissed their mommies and daddies and family members goodbye. And now they're not home. They will never be home again. So it's just very heartbreaking. And I do want to share with you this. There we go. This is the one I want to share with you. Sorry, you all. I just decided last minute to make sure that we look at this before we move on, because I think it's important. I really do. I just think it's important. It's my favorite place in the entire world, and it is a camp for girls. It is a Christian camp for girls. Darlene, you're in Texas, lost everything in Harvey. You did? I was very lucky because I was waterfront in Harvey, and I had several places waterfront, and none were damaged at that time. Now, since then, yes, since I sold, I went back a few months ago and my place was demolished pretty much. But Darlene, I can relate. It's all water can be scary, right? As much as we're attracted to it and we enjoy it and we go to it for so many reasons, it's scary. You know, were they sleeping when this occurred? Let me look up a little bit. That's a great question. You have high school friends that live there? One is missing? Oh my gosh, Gypsy. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I hope they're found. One is missing and his older brother, wife, and 2 kids. Oh my gosh. Mima lived in Texas from 1988 to 93. Yeah, water is powerful. You don't realize it. And, you know, when I lived on it, I didn't realize how much you have to work against Mother's Nature constantly. It's not just living on the water, on the beach, and enjoying yourself all the time. It's a constant preparation to guard against Mother's Nature. Texas here, went to college and have a son living in the hill country. That's what I was going to say. It's called the hill country, everyone. Beautiful area. I've been camping there before on the Guadalupe River. Gorgeous. It is what we call it. People don't seem to understand the difference between flooding and flash flooding. You have no time or warning. Exactly. It just comes. And this is the camp right here. Historical camp, generations of Texas women who come here. It's 99 years old, and it has just been, it's on the banks of the Guadalupe River, and it has been a place for generations to come that has now flash floods, families looking for children, right? 8-year-old camper deceased, grandparents and a family of 4 remain missing as Texas flooding victims continue to be identified. And there is another young lady. Please add Mary Grace Baker. She was in Cabin Twins from Beaumont, Texas. Breaks my heart. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, look at this little angel. Blakely McCrory. Oh my goodness, you all. Honestly. Oh my goodness, let me repost that real quick. Bless their hearts, right? Recovered. Sarah's grandmother shared that Sarah is no longer with us via Facebook post. May Sarah Marsh rest in peace. Here's Janie Hunt. Just heartbreaking. Now, can you all still hear me? Because it's telling me we lost our connection again to StreamYard. Put a 1 if you can hear me, please. It's down the road from you, Darlene. Can you hear me? Oh, good. I just want to make sure because it says our connection's lost. Again, good old StreamYard lately. So just very sad. I would love for us here to take a moment where I will be silent, we'll be silent. And let's think of, look at that beautiful little face. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can barely talk. Let's take a moment of silence for all the lives lost, affected, and people still missing and families still searching. Let's take a moment. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. We will keep updating on this terrible tragedy. Terrible tragedy. I'm sorry, I'm choked up a little bit. I apologize. Excuse me. We have a lot that's been happening. And we have so many first responders out there searching, even for those who are not their own, right? Not even in their own jurisdictions. And now we're about to talk about a case, sadly enough, where we have sheriffs and lead detectives and those who will not respond. So it's a stark difference. I think we're all choked up a little bit. It's a lot, right? It's a lot when you see tragedy that hits like that and so many lives lost. So many lives lost, and we'll keep our eye on Texas, and we're praying for all of you. We're thinking of you. Stay safe. Yes, I have an update coming with Travis. The blood on the truck was Travis's indeed, so now they know they are only looking for Travis. Okay, Travis Decker, who unalived his 3 daughters. I do have an update. There's just been so much hopping right now going on, but I am getting to Caitlin Lane, who was Caitlin Harp, but they're no longer calling her Harp in light of her husband being charged with her death. It is when it's that many children, and I think that's why we don't understand what we're seeing in Sumner County. So for those of you who do not know what we are speaking about, we are speaking of Sebastian Rogers, an autistic teenager who was 15 when he was reported missing, and he is now 16. There was no scent proving that he left the home. There was no footage showing us him leaving the home. That has been verified by law enforcement. There were flashlights in the back of his yard. A 3:10 a.m. sedan pulled up. Prior to pulling up, people were let out of that vehicle. 2 flashlights went up, approached the back of the Stafford home. There was another flashlight by the house, or by another home. Looks like they're kind of keeping watch, and as we know, moving through the backyards behind Sebastian's home. This all occurred the night Sebastian Rogers was missing. Now, law enforcement has come out and said it was a trash truck, but we've had people look at it. We've had lots of officers weigh in, and the night a child goes missing, flashlights like that are not a trash truck. And the neighbors, even the mother who had her child taking the trash allegedly to the end of the driveway for trash pickup, that would be KP having Sebastian, the missing child, take the trash to the end of the front of the house driveway. They are all aware that the trash trucks don't go through their backyards. It's ludicrous. On top of it, we've had very little updates regarding Sebastian Rogers. When there have been a couple of sightings, the father has driven there to Bristol, Virginia. He lives in Tennessee. When he arrived there, that tip had not been followed through by law enforcement. They had not contacted anyone. I know. Hi, Whispering Winds. Are you late? Tardy slip from me. I'm right now. I can't write one right here. I'll write one to you. Thank you, Frank. So they didn't get to Bristol, Virginia in time. They didn't reach out. Father was devastated. He's out there. Law enforcement hasn't reached out. They had the tip as well. He went on the news around May 21st, a few days before Missing Children's Day, National Missing Children's Day, and he told the local news what's been happening, that he needs the marshals called in. The sheriff isn't calling in the marshals. They're not following up, communicating with him on leads that he gives them. And he does, so he's running the leads because he's not hearing that they're running them. It's a mess. And he indicated on that local interview that the sheriff told him he is not doing any more press conferences. He doesn't care what the public thinks, and he doesn't care what his constituents think. And quite frankly, I'm not going to comment on that statement other than the behavior in the last week. And I lived it. I saw it. It's true. Just shows right there that responding isn't what's going to be happening right now. So it's been a mess. National Center for Missing Exploited Children, the FBI, TBI, Sumner County did not respond and react, or the FBI, to the ransom demand. And in response to that, because it was a federal kidnapping investigation, it should have been, because it was claiming to be in Mexico, it became federal. The FBI should have gone in there. Dog and AtNight put out a press, or One World and AtNight put out a press release demanding federal intervention. They've sent it to Kash Patel, the White House, many congressional oversight committees, Attorney General, Tennessee Attorney General. And in response, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is now on a billboard with Dog the Bounty Hunter for Sebastian. And the TBI, they were also asked to take over Sebastian's case. Now, TBI's deputy, who's in charge of that case, I'm not sure if it's still Tony Allen, but they reached out 2 days after AtNight put out the press release in One World, telling the family that they were going to be searching for somewhere below the house. Is it a show? I hope not. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt because they did what they responded. No TBI has responded on behalf of Sebastian in this situation, nor has Sumner County, the lead detective, or the sheriff. I have been checking for updates. It's an absolute travesty. I do want to say, please make it to the members live. We need to talk about a peaceful protest out there and a recall. I'm not there to do a peaceful protest, but I thought we could brainstorm what can we get going. It needs to happen. This is serious, and we need to get a recall for that sheriff. But you have to be local to do it. You have to be in Sumner County. So let's go ahead and get started. Please hit the thumbs up on your way in. This is a lot going on with the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. It sounds like Sumner County has doubled down on their silence, doubled down on their lack of response and reaction to very serious tip that just occurred and others as well, one including the treehouse tip where someone sent a tip in regarding a tent structure, someone living in it, domestic items there. It didn't show the person living in it, but domestic items in it, boxed water. It was sent in as a tip. AtNight, Dogs Team, One World investigated the items in the tent, like investigators would do, right? To see if it was any relevance to Sebastian or they tracked them to areas and missing children. Unbelievable investigative work. And there was an email that showed on the photo forensic evidence. And they sent all of their investigation because they, Sumner County had it too, but they sent what they had investigated on this tent structure. The items, all of the kids missing in the areas, whatever they came up with, and pointed out to them, there's an email that you can forensically track. Well, in their press release this past few days, they explained that that was not done. So it's really worrying, people. I know a lot of you are emailing me, Jay, what if we could have found Sebastian in the first few days? I tend to not want to say I agree, but in my opinion, I agree because they had footage, they had audio, they had a vehicle. The public was not asked to identify the vehicle, so they must have known what vehicle it was, or they were remiss. Never heard anything about license plate readers catching the vehicle, but they don't have to tell us that. But they have pretended that there was nothing going on in the backyard for investigative purposes, I guess. But now when they're doing what they're doing, they have never gone to the public with images from the video, audio sounds for people to recognize the voice. Oh, good. Good. Buzz, there is a peaceful protest being planned. Yes. Who's planning it, Lisa? And I will definitely reach out to them. BHB, thank you. I will reach out to her. I sent her an email last week and she got back to me. I will reach out to her for sure and see what we can do to help. I am so glad. We are activists. We advocate. I hope we'll find him too. Let me read this to you. Do you know when it is yet, everyone, or is it just in the making? Town Chat says, hi, Town Chat. Have they been able to determine how long the tent had been there? Just curious if for some reason it could be Travis. It was prior to the Travis event. It was in April. So it was in April of 2025 that the tip was sent in. Yes, Mark said you would think Sebastian's mother would be doing a peaceful protest. Amen. We can all work together. You bet. We will all work together. I am happy to work with anyone who's doing for Sebastian. I have no qualms someone else leading the cause. I'm here anyway, but I'm happy to do whatever I can. Okay, for immediate release, this was 18 hours ago. It's from AtNight Creative Intelligence. Can you all see it? I know you like it large so you can screenshot things. Let me welcome in everyone. Please hit that thumbs up. This is serious. We have a lead agency who will not pass Sebastian Rogers' case to the FBI or the marshals. They are not reacting and responding expeditiously or at all to tips. They are doubling down in their silence right now. And this is a child's life. We need explanations. People need to lose jobs. People need to absolutely lose jobs, starting with the sheriff, in my opinion. Not one word. For immediate release, Sebastian Rogers. 4th of July, 2025, regarding Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' private search effort status update. Now, please remember that AtNight, One World, Dog the Bounty Hunter were brought in by Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father. They are his team. Okay. Yes, they offered to work with the mother. But wasn't interested, but they are his team. They have been working in alignment, sending tips to Sumner County and TBI, because I will be honest, just like Coffin Daffer said, most of the tips are coming to them. That's why Seth said in his interview, he's sending them their tips, his tips, because those are Seth's tips that are coming in. And he's sending them on, and they are not being followed through with integrity of a badge. But Sumner County, guess what? He's taking your tax money and collecting that paycheck. How do you feel about that, Sumner County? Private search effort status. July 4th, 2025, confidentiality public for immediate distribution. And when they distribute to cash, to the White House. You can see their tags. In connection with the ongoing case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, One World Society Corp., One World hereby announces a permanent suspension of all communications, coordination, and information routing to any local or state law enforcement agency. They are giving nothing. They are not communicating, coordinating, or giving them information. This measure is effective immediately and may only be revisited upon receipt of a direct formal request from duly authorized state officials. This decisive action follows a sustained and well-documented pattern of delays, negligence, miscommunication, and disregard for critical public intelligence. One World will no longer seek integrity from institutions we believe have repeatedly failed in their duty to protect this child. Boom. Amen. Hallelujah. Should be ashamed. It's disgusting. Number 1, zero tolerance permanent escalation policy. And I'm a little more irritated about it, you all, because I lived through days of possibly envisioning Sebastian in a hotel in Mexico, possibly gagged, possibly being roughly treated. Well, Sumner County and TBI said nothing, didn't respond. So forgive me if I'm a little emotional about this one. Zero tolerance, permanent escalation policy. Effective immediately, AtNight Private Intelligence is directed to enforce the following protocol without exception. Full preservation of incoming tips. Every tip submitted through our channel shall be timestamped, encrypted, and archived under forensic grade standards. Monitored via our secure internal tracking systems, audited for federal forwarding suitability. So they're going to be locking down all their tips. No tip will be erased. Now look what they put in italics. No report will vanish. What does that infer? Reports have been vanishing. And how frickin' sad is that? jobs better be lost. Every detail is preserved with the utmost precision. Sumner County, if you're in here, I want to ask a question, and this is one you can propose to Eric Craddock. Oh, you just saw Craddock at a fundraising luncheon for a woman's shelter. He was with his wife. I wanted to approach. Yeah. Dead silence. Dead silence. Nothing. He should be ashamed. He needs to lose his job. Because let's ask him this. Does he think collecting a paycheck and sitting there not doing anything is more of a priority than Sebastian Rogers' life? So he was just at a fundraiser, huh? But he hasn't managed to say a word. Did he look scared? Probably not. But he sure does when he's in front of the cameras talking about Sebastian, in my opinion. So he was at, let's just all look at that again. That is just, where is that again, Gina H? Thank you for sharing that. He's there for a woman's shelter. Did he give them his snuggle trouble speech? Because a lot of women who are in those shelters are victims. Did he let them know about snuggle trouble? Yeah, no more sharing with LE. And they do come out in a more recent update and ask people, let people know they're not discouraging all of you to submit tips to them. You know, and if you do submit tips to them and they say don't give it to AtNight, they say just go ahead and respect that. But how I can't, because AtNight is who got me through the past week. Eric Craddock's at a shelter shaking hands with the ladies, giving him his snuggle trouble speech, probably, in my opinion. He had no time for a ransom. But you know what that scares me, you all? You know why it scares me? He doesn't react to that. Does that mean he has proof of something else? That worries me. Or is he just that remiss? Gina H., are you all going to try and run someone against him there or get a recall? I mean, you know he's going to win again if no one runs against him in this. And if it were one of your children next time, this is what he's going to do. So I hope you all are trying to get the recall. I hope you all are talking about running someone against him. I sure hope, a couple of months ago, I sure hope you all are looking to do something to take his job away. She said it was a couple of months ago. I misunderstood too. Who woke him up to go there? Yeah, exactly. I misunderstood too. I did leave a comment under something. He's the golden boy, huh? Well, the golden boy is allowed to collect paychecks and not do anything for a child who is missing. Now, in my opinion, when federal intervention looks at that, the golden boy is going to be ousted and most possibly have some, I'm not going to say it. Okay. So, and I am going to be contacting your governor Monday. I am making a phone call and I'm going to call until they speak to me. Deafening says, I know that I sound like a broken record, but Elon Musk is an activist. He has called out our UK government to address the grooming gangs, and all damage to women and girls might be worth contacting. Yes, we can look and see if he's been on the tags that they put on there. I know the Trumps were. I know Cash was. Yeah, thank God for Seth. Someone says, or no one else would be looking. I'm going through comments if you're in the bushes right now or replay. Sorry that I am going right back to the update, but everyone's feeling a certain way about this right now. So yeah, I hope, I mean, if anyone is looking to relocate, don't say me because I already picked my spots. If anyone's looking to relocate and would be interested in running for sheriff, why don't you relocate to Sumner County and give him a run for his money? All you would have to do is answer a tip line. Pick up your phone, in my opinion. Okay. 2, termination of local and state communications. All state and local agencies have been removed from our operational loop. And that is, and I will tell you, they were in on their loop because I sent that ransom demand to all, but when I looked at AtNight, they sent it in to all too. So they had it sent in everywhere to local, state, and everything too. There will be no notifications to precincts, sheriff's offices, or municipal bodies. No attempts will be made to contact or forward data to these parties. They are excluded from by history by and performance. Excuse me. They are excluded by history and performance. So I'm sure they have someone else in line who will be able to go in and make arrests. Because I know that some of you, you're all on top of things. So you all, I know you're going to ask me, well, who can arrest them? Because dog cannot. They will, I'm sure, in light of this, they are not like, they have their ducks in a row. Let me say that to you. I really respect how they work. They work fast. They have lots. They, they're powerful. So if they were going to put something out like this, they would make sure they had someone who would be able to arrest in circumstances. I don't think we'll ever go through what we went through again with the ransom. There will be someone there to make an arrest. They'll make sure of it because this was ludicrous. Hey, Panda Bear's mom, how are you? Hey, Sammy, Ginger Frog, good to see you. I would love Seth to run for sheriff. I would love him to outseat that clown, in my opinion. Okay, so they have respected them. They have sent them everything. And that is not happening anymore. They are locking down their operational loop, and it will exclude local and state agencies in Tennessee. Federal coordination endpoints. And why in the world does it have to come to this? I think I'm going to write a press release to some local stations and see if they'll put it out. Federal coordination endpoints. AtNight will relay all credible information it receives regarding the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers exclusively to tips to FBI.gov, the official federal tip portal for national investigations, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at missingkids.org with the case number, U.S. embassies and consulates for international sightings, movement, or digital forensics. So there will be no more TBI and no more Sumner County. And remember, who are most of the tips going to? Them. Dog. Dog's the one who has the far reach around this world. People know him. They trust him. AtNight will continue to assist the public in navigating these channels. We refuse to waste another moment submitting tips into systems that have failed this child. Amen. Rationale and comparative performance. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children activation. Now, I do want to mention to you, they were one of the ones mentioned in the press release for non-response. Following that press release, they have now put their name and their tip line on a billboard for Sebastian with Dog the Bounty Hunter. Okay, so, let's move forward. Let's be grateful because they are powerful. We don't know what happened that night or those few days. I'm just going to say they're on board now. They've received notice and they've responded. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children activation. The NCMEC has been active in this case from its inception and is publicly confirming via their issued poster, case 2014106. They are a benchmark example. Their rapid response in separate Tennessee disappearance of a 5-year-old demonstrates what real-time coordinated federal action looks like when resources are fully mobilized. Okay. Is that the 5-year-old that they found with the sonar in the woods? And then the news had Craddock grabbing him out of the woods. Now, if you want me to believe that he was out there searching and found the child, you're going to have to show me not media footage. I want real-time footage of the child being found by him, in my opinion. I've lost all confidence. So that's what it should be for any child, any person. As a sheriff, do you get to determine who you protect, who you serve? I'm befuddled. I'm baffled he went to a woman's shelter thing after his snuggle trouble statement. I wish one local had stood up and read his statement and the date of it. Or anyone there. National Center. Oh, okay. So benchmark example. So National Center, they did this rapid response in Tennessee for a 5-year-old. So why is that not happening for Sebastian? It's going to happen. But why won't Sumner County get on board? Stark contrast. Local and state agencies have routinely vanished behind voicemail prompts and bureaucratic silence. Their inaction has compelled this permanent escalation. Yeah, if you ever have to call a tip in and you decide to call it to Sumner County and that tip line, good luck. There's no number to push for Sebastian. You don't even know which one to push. No directions whatsoever. And that's, in my opinion, remember when they were going to the recording in Blanche? Probably to go unchecked. Think about how that was a long time ago. Think about all the sightings and tips and leads that could have brought this child home, let alone a TBI agent the first few days who makes a statement where he is, he's not coming back from. Well, that shows you know where he is, you know what happened. So get up off your tushy and start looking, in my opinion. Where he is, he's not coming back from. That reveals knowledge from a TBI agent. In the early days, we're almost 17 months down the road now. And if you knew where he wasn't coming back, then you may have gotten the marshals who could have helped you out. No more excuses. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's Performance now sets the operational standard. That bar is the default for all future intelligent flows in our effort. So they will be using National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They did not double down on their silence. They came forth, put their name on a board, bulletin board, stood by Dog the Bounty Hunter in this effort, AtNight and One World. That's huge, you all. That's a huge statement. They stood by. They got up, they stood by. No, I didn't say get up. Excuse me. In response to the press release, because I do respect National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I did, however, point out to them and showed you guys the email about 6 to 8 months ago where I pointed out to them the last seen date and the missing date were incorrect. They responded immediately and said, we will check into that and get right back to you. And then they never got back to me, and I sent 2 or 3 emails and they ignored me. So they knew the dates were wrong too, because I pointed them out. And then they ignored me. So who told them to ignore that? Because their initial response is, oh, we're going to go check on that and we'll get right back to you. And then suddenly, they were even ignoring my emails. So why were they ignoring? Who's directing this? Silence. And I don't care if Eric Craddock is a golden boy. Golden boys don't let autistic children sit in a Mexico hotel while they ignore the tips, because that is exactly what he was ignoring. A child who was trafficked, allegedly, ransom being asked, and him being moved to a hotel. He was ignoring that. So golden boy or not, and I know what you mean when you say that, Gina H., because I've seen that before. I get it. And that's a hard thing to fight in a small town. It really is. And I feel for you, Gina H. I do. I feel for you. Because that's a hard thing to fight in a small town. But you have a very high profile case that he just ignored an international ransom demand trafficking for a child in his area. So what I think right now, I'm getting to you, Raymond, I'm sorry, and everyone, what I'm thinking right now is he took his Sumner County. Now, Sumner County is one small blip on the United States. And he just took his golden boy status in Sumner County and took a black mark on his face all around the United States and his badge. Okay? So He just put a black mark on his badge. So if Sumner County, the locals don't really care, well, that's a darn shame. I bet they would if it was their child, right? But don't worry, because YouTube cares. Social media cares, Gina H., and we gotcha. Yeah, he's got a black mark on his badge now because federally they are looking at him. Right? Federally they are looking at him. And Gina, we're thinking about you all. I know it's been tough. I know it's been tough. Let's keep reading, friends. One World serves as a secure repository, verifier, and transition point for all actionable information. We will no longer act as messengers to deaf institutions. Yeah, they're doing all the work. You know, even with the treehouse tip, they, well, Sumner County allegedly was ignoring it and didn't do anything about it. They were looking at all the items, investigating them, trying to find out where they were from, what area, what children were missing from that area. That's investigations. And they're getting paid nothing to do it. Craddock's taking a paycheck and knows, how does he sleep at night? How does he eat a meal? When one of his own, a child, is allegedly being TRA'd in Mexico and roughly being moved to a hotel, in my eyes. Roughly, I say, because what are they, gentle? How does he eat? How does he sleep? There's something going on in Sumner County, my friends, that they would hide a child's life. This release is not intended to discourage or deter the public from contacting state or local authorities, including TBI, Sumner County agencies, or any other law enforcement body, nor does it direct anyone to withhold information. Call 911 immediately if you see Sebastian or if you believe you have time-sensitive information. I agree. Call 911, then contact Dog and AtNight. One World and its partners will no longer fund or advertise local or state tip lines when National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has been activated. Okay, so it's 1-800-THE-LOST, 911 if you see him, if it's on the spot, 1-800-THE-LOST, and call Dog, which is 844, sorry, that's really large. Sorry, y'all. 844-922 FAFO or 3236. Let me get back to you. Sorry. I'm just Shooketh. Hi, Haley May. Hi, Joanne. I'm Shooketh. Hi, Joe. And I am greeting my chat a lot more if you're in the bushes, because they're going through a lot too. Mimi Ma, Ginger Frog, that's the same opinion. Ellie knows something about Sebastian and where he might possibly be. That's what worries me, Fundaski, is that they know where he might be. And that was that statement from, I don't want to say the name. I was TBI agent who said where he is, he's not coming back from. That means they know something, right? And it worries me because they know where he is from a couple of days in, because he made that statement. So how would they know a couple of days in, but 17 months later have not been able to rescue him? He said he's not coming back from it. To me, that sounds like the big T. To many of you, it sounds like unalived. Okay. And even if you are a sheriff who believes him to be deceased, then you better have proof, right? If you're not searching alive tips. So does he have proof he's deceased and has just never come forward and done this and ended this? I don't know. We're talking about Sebastian, Rosalie. Summer is also from Tennessee, yes, and she now has a reward. She has billboards now. She was included in the press release to request the FBI to take over her case or run a parallel investigation and collect all evidence. TBI, 2 days later, her agent, They got on and reacted to that and are searching for Summer below her home. We don't know when. We don't know the capacity or scale of it. But TBI did not respond on behalf of Sebastian Rogers. Does that tell you something? Does that concern you? It concerns me. We're picking and choosing children. It really worries me, you all. How do you sit? How do you eat? How do you eat? How do you sleep when there's a child with a ransom demand and being told he was trafficked to Mexico? How do you sleep and eat? So he just decided it was he just decided it can't be true. Well, if he knows he's unalive and he hasn't ended the investigation and said something, or not ended it, but said something, shocking. All the resources looking for him. Because why wouldn't he get up off his duff and do something? And why wouldn't he, as the supervisor of the lead detective, tell him to get up off his duff and do something? Now, if they know he was teed, and that's their comment about where he is, he's not coming back from, they should have called the marshals immediately instead of sitting there and thinking, well, a little bit too hard. Because remember, when they did Operation Dragon Eye recently, they had the marshals, and look at all the children rescued. They rescue children. And when Colorado found Barry Morphew, the district attorney said, you see what it takes? It takes everyone working together. And it's not okay to say something is too hard and just not do it. So we need to get this guy's job, in my opinion. That's what we had for now. He hasn't done an investigation. No, not in my opinion either. And in my opinion, Sonny would have. And in my opinion, think about that. Sonny was honorable and beloved by the community. Oh, I'm sure he will. I am sure he will, Patricia. He has many lawsuits, but his priority right now is getting people to find Sebastian. But yes, he has many lawsuits. Yes, Caitlin, what's your question? I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Someone was called because there was we found that 30-minute gap, remember, long months ago. As soon as, I agree, Valley Girl, it may go further up, but guess what? It doesn't go all. What? Grady Judd from Florida offered to help Craddock, but he's refused all offers? Do you have receipt of that, Fun to Ski? We have been saying all along, we wish Grady Judd would come in and show him how it's done or help him out. Yes, Gina, I do know she wasn't, the wife and family were endorsing Craddock before Sonny was even buried. And in my opinion, that in itself is interesting. Yes, Shirley, we have talked about Tennessee Internal Affairs Office. It is called the Office of Professional Responsibility. I sent the name to Tony to give to Seth. Only the person standing in the case can report the sheriff. And so Seth has that information. Yes. I am shooketh. I am shooketh. If you by chance have a receipt on that, Fun to Ski, I would love that. I would love that. So they don't call it internal affairs, Shirley, to answer a little bit more clearly. Gina, was he cremated? Yeah, there needs to be an overhaul. Uh-huh. I can't believe he would turn down Grady Judd. I mean, I cannot believe it. I'm absolutely stunned. I mean, my mouth's on the floor. I've heard Sonny was beloved. I have heard, and I'm sorry your town lost him. I find it completely alleged, speculating, theorizing a strange coincidence during a high-profile case that now no one will look at locally. I find it a huge question mark now. Because he would not, Sonny Weatherford would not have allowed, from what I'm hearing about him, this kind of BS that is happening. So, am I correct? Oh, allegedly it was on a news interview when they found 200 children from, was it Grady doing it? Was it one of Grady's press releases? We got to find that. If you are in this chat right now, let's all try and find this. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. Mark said Grady knows something is very off. Every single person, you're right. Anyone who wears a badge who isn't sitting in Sumner County is shooketh as to what they are doing to the badge, because it makes all of them look bad. Just like the Boston cops in Karen Reed, it makes them all look bad. One bad seed ruins the bunch. I'm not saying anyone's a bad seed. I'm saying their behavior is making the public think so, because a child's involved, and it's disgusting. I cannot believe he turned down Grady Judd. Well, let's see. That's just shocking. I really am shooketh. Okay, let's keep going. Wow, I'm shocked. Okay, so they are skipping over. They are no longer sending things or funding or advertising local or state tip lines. They will be putting up their blip boards. They have a new blip board out that says your dad is looking for you, Sebastian Rogers, which is a great message, because how many kids have captors telling them your parents are deceased, they don't want you anymore, they don't care. So that message is huge. We remain committed to ensuring every genuine lead reaches all agencies when plausible. And this is the new bulletin board. That's our new bulletin board. And I will find out where it is located. I'm not sure exactly where it's been placed. And it says, be on the lookout, missing American teen. Here's Dog. For those of you who have been worried Dog wasn't involved, still he is involved. Here's Sebastian. And the message is your dad is looking for you, Sebastian Rogers. And that's such an important message, because so many kids are told they're not wanted. $500,000 reward. If you've been a coward and you're keeping quiet, now's the time to speak up. Call Dog 844-922-3236. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, 1-800-THE-LOST. Okay. I do want to read this in here for you, because they do sometimes change the information in these. They don't just put it out, rote. They do write a lot of new stuff in there. So let's just see real quick if there's anything new in the flyer. Now, if you weren't with us before, they have changed, which I'm so grateful for. Instead of keeping the misinformation on there, and both KP and Seth have asked TBI in Sumner County to change on the flyer since the beginning, where it says he's wearing a black sweatshirt and black sweats. They wanted the sweatshirt changed to a long sleeve black t-shirt and the pants changed to with the, reflectors on the side. That has also never occurred. The parents' request to have the clothing changed on the flyers was never done, folks. But Dog the Bounty Hunter, AtNight, One World, they have it correct on theirs. Sebastian, this is all the same. He has vanished on February 25th after leaving the Texas Roadhouse the year 2024 in Hendersonville, Tennessee with his mother. By the way, I did look back at some of the footage and some of the things that Dog and AtNight had put on the footage for us. And they said that KP gave Green Hoodie a hug, and something was exchanged and Green Hoodie put it away, like in a bag. Okay. So if you go back, there's some really important things they have for us. So going back is really important. So there was a hug between KP and Green Hoodie, and something Green Hoodie, there was an exchange and Green Hoodie put something away. Okay. After that exchange, I don't know how I missed it or overlooked it, but yes, I took screenshots of that too for y'all. So that wasn't just a nothing. And don't forget, Sumner County said they didn't think there was anything to Texas Roadhouse, right? I'm very shooketh because I'm worried about Sebastian. I'm worried that he could have been rescued long before now. Okay, please, if you are in Tennessee, remain on the lookout. Any of the United States near the Canadian border, now the Mexican border as well. Oregon, Washington, New York, also all over those southern states, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, Missouri. Keep your eyes out over there as well. As of July 1st, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. He has brown hair, brown or hazel eyes. The father did explain to us in our chat when we asked that Sebastian's eyes change with his mood or his attitude. Conditions that wearing all black and square frame glasses. Okay. Now, in one of their other ones, it said black t-shirt and jeans when he left the Roadhouse. So they're being more specific, but all black. Okay. Which is better than giving false info, and squared frame glasses. He has high functioning autism and a rare chromosomal syndrome. So all black would be acceptable to Seth and them because this is Seth's team. So, and a rare chromosomal syndrome, conditions that may complicate but do not prevent his ability to find his way home. Contrary to speculation, there is no evidence that he requires life-saving medication. That was another thing and it took the mother of Sebastian 12 months, the 1-year anniversary, to come out and admit to the public that she misrepresented him 12 months before. Why would you wait 12 months? She said, remember they had told us he's much younger mentally than his age, all this stuff, he may not answer, all these things. Well, then she came out at the 12th month and said it in the rush to get out information. Really? He may have been misrepresented. He's smart. You wouldn't notice he was special needs if you saw him. All different. Moles on his neck now. Waited all that time. Something's going on in Sumner County, folks. Okay. Those closest to him, including his father, reject the theory that he simply wandered off. They believe he is alive and they want the truth. As of July 1st, 2025, the reward stands at $500,000 for credible information leading to Sebastian's safe return and the arrest of those responsible. This includes $50,000 from the FBI, along with major contributions from Dog the Bounty Hunter and AtNight Intelligence. Working independently from law enforcement, these teams are actively pursuing leads nationwide. If you've seen anything, no matter how small, say something. A comment, a strange vehicle, a quiet or uneasy child. You don't need to solve the case. Just be truthful. Your identity stays protected. Your tip could bring Sebastian home. Okay? And we have many more updates. Many more little updates that also came in, but I'm going to come in and check on you first here. I'll read the bulletin board one. Is there anyone in here who did not see my morning video? Put a 1 if you didn't see the morning video about the bulletin board going up. And I can read that one too. There's lots of them. I don't know how to play chess either, but right now, I don't even know what to say. We will always have suspects, yes, from all sides. Absolutely. Okay, so most of you saw it. Okay, thank you. If not, go back and read what about the bulletin board. I'm going to share the other most recent ones then. By the way, they did retweet about corruption and things, and I will show you that as well. I'm just trying to get to you okay, so then there was this one. Now, this was the lead I shared with you where they have called on the FBI to lead the disappearance to Sebastian and Summer. Critical investigative leads remain unacknowledged. Significant misinformation threats warrant the necessity for immediate and complete intervention. So the threats that's been going on and the death threats, and remember when he went bananas screaming about the billboards and Brittany J and all that? Yes, I'm grabbing it, Gina. I'll grab it. Locals were scared then. And we thought that was going to bring Craddock out to assure the public that he had control of the situation. Nothing. Then when this ransom came out and the locals and public heard that he had not responded, I kept getting messages. The locals are really scared. The locals are scared. And I'm like, why? I wasn't sure at first. Well, because it was a ransom trafficking, all this going on, and he's saying nothing. Okay, I'll go to the most recent one. There's been a most recent one too. Let me just get up here. Oops, sorry. Oh, look, they've changed their banner. Or was that there? Okay, 26 minutes ago. Okay. This was 26 minutes ago from AtNight Creative Intelligence. They are on it. They are restructuring, figuring this out. Bullhorn, hashtag Sebastian Rogers. Have you seen him? Urgent, missing. Please help locate Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. PIN, last seen in Tennessee. At risk, age 16, may appear disoriented or reserved. SOS, report sightings immediately. Call 911 or 1-800-THE-LOST. Scan the QR code to access the official tip portal. Tip line, Dog the Bounty Hunter and AtNight, 844-922-3236. Facebook header, use gray background. Oh, Twitter header using yellow background. So this is their Facebook header, and you can scan it in order to quickly react, okay, to access the official tip portal. Amen. That National Center for Missing and Exploited Children came out, and they are standing behind Dog and AtNight and standing up for Sebastian. There you go. There's the gray shoes, by the way. Someone was asking me about these shoes. Okay. So they are teamed up together. A very important agency that was on notice with that press release, who has stood up and now standing by with Dog AtNight. And they must not understand why Sumner County's not responding either. Okay. They must wonder too. Now, of course, you've got probably the haters coming in saying things because they're addressing something, and I'm trying to make it larger for you there. This was 2 hours ago. Hi, SI officer. I don't know what their excuse was, Gypsy, but I know that being put on notice got them to put their name and tip line on the bulletin board, and they are on board. Apparently, what that shows that's really important to the public is we have a silent sheriff's office who is the lead jurisdiction for the case, and National Center for Missing and Exploited Children just aligned with Dog and AtNight. Interesting, right? Yes, a new blip board put up by Dog and AtNight. It's National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They have put their logo and tip line up or their name and tip line up with dog and AtNight. So coming off of that, putting them on notice for the no response, they have decided to not stand silent with Sumner County. They have decided to put their number, and the tip line will be used now for Sebastian. So tips will be received, and they are on the new bulletin board. All good news other than we still have a silent sheriff who thinks that Sebastian's life isn't worth saying one word about, in my opinion. Okay, new update a couple hours ago. Official statement from AtNight, because of course, people will have to say something now about them switching where they send their information, right? So AtNight is aware of unauthorized individuals or groups claiming to be handlers or points of contact for submitting tips related to our efforts, including the ongoing search into the disappearance of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, a 16-year-old who vanished from Hendersonville, Tennessee on February 25th, 2024. These external entities are not affiliated with AtNight. So already you got people claiming to be part of collecting AtNight's tips. Now, how dirty is that, in my opinion? Now that the tips are no longer going to state and local entities, now there's unauthorized individuals and groups claiming to be handling AtNight's tips and being a point of contact. You know why? Because it's not going to local and state anymore. So how were they getting them before, right? I don't know when the presser was with Grady Judd. I want to hear that too. They're going to try and find it for us. That dog will find Sebastian. I hope so too. The Florida sheriff knows this and offered to help, Charlene. He offered to help and was allegedly turned down, is what we're hearing. I want receipts though. But yeah, so now, of course, because it's not going to local and state, they need a way to get those tips, the dirty people, right? So now they're claiming to be, in my opinion, this is how I see it, handlers of the tips that are only going to AtNight and dog. How were they getting the tips before? From local and state people, allegedly? I'm shooketh. Wow. So these external entities are not affiliated with AtNight. So they gave you this secure QR code, and they also came up with a signal handle on their Signal app for you all to put something in for a tip. We accept tips and information only through our official channels. So do not give any information to people saying they're collecting tips for AtNight, dog, National Center, One World. It's only these avenues where the information goes. And of course, just like in everything else in this case, it just seems like there's people who need to breach the data. Why would that be? Why do people need to breach the tips and information? To hide them? To reroute them to nowhere? To go after individuals who are submitting tips? They use an anonymous system, so they're stupid if that's what they're doing. Okay? So this is the only place they're taking tips. You call here, you send it here. There's two of them, tips@manhunts.one or most wanted at manhunts.one, or use the QR code. And then there's another update. They have in the Signal app, they have a handle you can use, a tag. Please submit information intended for AtNight exclusively through these channels. Do not send tips via DM, iMessage, SMS, or direct emails to our representatives, okay? As this violates our policies and could delay critical efforts in cases like Sebastian's. So regardless if you see them on X, don't DM them. Don't give them a text or don't send a text or directly to someone you might have contact with. Get it right to their secured agencies and numbers they're putting out, because those are secure. Our tip line ensures tips are securely shared with our team of professionals, including analysts, private investigators, and where permitted, contracted off-duty police officers who prioritize tips using a multi-pronged system. This process is vital to managing our independent operation effectively, such as the search for Sebastian across Tennessee, U.S. state parks, campgrounds, rest stops, and near Canadian border points in Oregon, Washington, and New York, and now Mexico. There's our Oregon. Okay. And I just thought of something. Now that the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children are with them, I wonder if they can dispatch Team Adam to help. And remember that Jen Coffindaffer said there's something else, another resource that Sumner County should use with National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Team Adam is a bunch of retired agents, detectives that go looking for missing children. So, but they have to be asked. But now I wonder if they still have to be asked, or if they can just dispatch them now that there's a problem with getting a response from the lead jurisdiction of Sumner County Sheriff's Office in Tennessee, Hendersonville. So I wonder if they can go ahead and get those resources out now, like Team Adam and the one Jen Coffindaffer was talking about on Break the Case. I can't recall which one. I don't think it's the card team right now. No, we're beyond that, I think. I don't know, though. Was the card team, I'm not sure. But there was a resource that she had mentioned with the National Center, and I know there's Team Adam had not been brought in. So now maybe they can bring this in. Yes, the card team's FBI. It's the Child Abduction Rapid Deployment, not to be confused with their computer CART team. Okay, so let's keep going. Wow, this is really sad that everyone isn't just doing their part. I'm really saddened by this. Since September 3rd, over 1,000 individuals have contributed to our ongoing international effort, with approximately 100 vetted analysts and volunteers currently active, dedicated to finding Sebastian. AtNight's leadership provides external assistance to maintain the integrity of our operations, ensuring that investigations like Sebastian's remain focused and uncompromised. And now they have people already trying to compromise it. Getting the local and now that local and state agencies aren't getting the tips, they're trying to get them from AtNight people, dirty people, just like they were trying to breach their systems. Oh, and by the way, they're investigating those breaches. They are investigating. They told us they're doing a full audit. They are identifying, going after the individuals who are breaching the systems. A $500,000 reward is offered for credible information leading to a safe return and the arrest of those responsible. Submit all tips and information you're willing to share to our organization directly only through AtNight's official channels listed on our website and graphics. Don't let someone fool you. Don't let someone reach out to you. Don't fall for it. We don't need to feed the beasts. We need to bring Sebastian home. The public's cooperation is essential. And when I say feed the beasts, I mean people who will take tips and breach data and obstruct. That's what I mean. They don't need the information. I'm talking about hackers and stuff. The public's cooperation is essential. Whether it's a sighting of Sebastian or any other detail, no matter how small, please contact us immediately via the official channels provided. However, contain authorities first, and do not share information with AtNight or other entities if authorities ask you to refrain from doing so. No, I won't be doing that. Just so you know, I do want to say that I have submitted things and I'm not confident. So, Lori, thank you for gifting a Crime Time Buzz membership and growing our family. Following this live, we are having our reunion, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Our family reunions, we talk a little bit more openly, to the point. So please join us. It'll be following this live. Raymond, thank you again for your generosity. Always there to grow our family. Our reunions, you're a family member. If you're in the bushes, replay the chat, watching, subscriber. But we have a members live reunion on Saturdays, and it is following this, and I hope you'll join us, whoever received Raymond's membership gift. Thank you so much, Raymond, and welcome to our family. And Raymond's other membership gift. Thank you, Raymond, and welcome to our family. Join us after this. And Lori, thank you again. please thank Lori and welcome to our family. And thank you for your 3-month support. Bring Sebastian home. Amen. I'm really shooketh because I really am kind of shooketh because, you know, at this point, I don't understand why Sumner County's doubling down on their silence. It's like a kid throwing a tantrum, in my opinion. I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say about it. Pamela, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Please thank Pamela for the 10 memberships. So generous. 10 of you will get to be members and join our reunion following the live here. And Pamela, that's so very generous, above and beyond. Thank you so much. Please thank Pamela and welcome to our family. Thank you very much. So I'm really worried about what occurred before Dog and them got involved. What did we miss? What did we lose? Hi, Magic Star. Hi, Pamela Pix. Hi, Mystery Minded. So I don't know what we lost. What did get overlooked? Remember the things at Warsham's? Remember the mattress pad? Remember the photo that's of Katie's high school photos and stuff that was found there? Remember all that? Remember the skull that Silver's turned in and the phone that says Terry on it? The glasses? The pants? The audio? All of it. They still should have it, though. You know? And the skull that, you know, the skull that he turned in had a nug hole in it, right? You guys knew that, right? So I don't know. I've never seen this in my life where a sheriff and the lead detective didn't want to look for a child, but didn't want to give it to someone else. So I don't know, but there's a lot of evidence. And in this first update that I read, they said that they're locking down theirs, not sending stuff to a silent agency anymore. And they are, especially, they mentioned vanishing reports. So now I'm worried. Vanishing reports. So what reports have gone missing? Has the audio gone missing? Has the video gone missing? What's gone missing? Yes, Summer Silvers went out looking and found a skull with a nug in it. He also found a pair of pants and a blanket. He took it to FBI. They turned him away. He took it to TBI. They turned him away. He went to Sumner County. He asked, Brandon Carter was in a meeting. He asked to have Brandon that it was important. Brandon came out, sassy pants, of course, and said, well, why did you bring it here? And Silver said, well, you know, save you some time, I guess. And yeah, and he found a phone that said for emergency call Terry, and that was at the 27.27 mark from Sebastian's home. That one lady, Janine Chrissy, said she had heard that's where Sebastian is. So yes, they said it was plastic, but okay. He has it all videoed, though. He videoed everything before he gave it to him. Yeah, so none of this is going to, oh, absolutely none of this moved forward until Dog came and put a little pressure on the whole situation. Oh, absolutely. That's why he ran out around Sebastian's birthday and said, we're on it. We're going to team up with the daddy. No, that was so he didn't look silly. Well, now he looks silly. So, and he did it on his own. Oh, you all, I will let you know. Silver's and many of you were here for mine and Silver's show together several months ago on the Sebastian Rogers case, searching for him and all of that. And Silver's and I have another show coming up. We don't have a date yet. We just confirmed with each other that we're going to do another show together. So we are also going to be bringing in our Oregon eyewitness, and we're going to be discussing the pond. So don't miss, hit the notification bell, subscribe. I don't know when it will be, but we will let you know. Silvers will be back on Crime Time Buzz. So, yeah. Yeah, I agree. And Seth needed that open line of communication. So, of course, you're going to go for it. He needed that open line of communication. But sadly, once a little bit of time went on, he really showed who he truly was, in my opinion, and he wasn't going to work with him. And he told him he's not doing any more press conferences. He doesn't care what his public says, and he doesn't care what his constituent says. But they will keep voting him in. I hope not. I hope someone will run for office against him. Because if he's not there to protect the children, get him out. He's collecting your paychecks with his feet on the desk, ignoring a ransom demand of a child being dragged to a hotel for trafficking. Okay, AtNight, creative intelligence. Here it is. And I don't know if any of you know what Signal is. This excludes any official sanctioned lines of communication such as Signal and Proton. So what they're also saying is you can also submit your tips to Signal or Proton. And Signal's an app you download. It's secure, and you'll use this tag at oneworld.07. Okay. If you have a tip to give to them, you can also download the QR code. Once you download the QR code, for those of you who aren't familiar with how to use it, what you do to download a QR code is you put your phone, you open your camera, and you put your phone up to the QR code, and a little yellow thing will pop up, and you put your finger on the yellow thing and push it, and then it opens for you. Okay. We need to keep the searchers safe, right? Yes. I had someone actually reach out to me today about that SI officer. So we do have some people reaching out. Yes. Willing to do some things with searching. Yes. But so anyway, Silvers and I just touched base a couple of days ago. We're going to talk this week, and we will let you know when he is going to come on, and we will talk what's happening. My gosh, we got a lot to talk about. What's happening, searching Oregon, and we're going to bring our Get My Eyewitness on for Oregon also, and it's going to be a great show. It is. So let's keep seeing if there's any other updates that we've missed. Yes. This is serious. This is serious, okay? And I want you all to... Okay, hold on. I can't get it larger, of course. There. This one was 4 hours ago. And this is talking about the Mexican border. Oh, it'll be fun, Ginger. We did one of about several months ago together. And it was... Silvers had never been live before, and he did a great job. We had a good time, and we're going to do it again. Oh, thank you, Barb. Thank you. That was a very sweet comment. Barb said, Jay, you're awesome. You work so hard for Sebastian. We appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you all too. Sebastian Strong, right? Lori, thank you so much for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. And we are Sebastian's Army. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate it. So this is important, because this is where they claimed to have teed Sebastian to Mexico. And although that ransom demand, they're still looking for the individual, you know, you never know. Did he get scared and run? Because let me tell you, AtNight doesn't mess around. Yes, Silvers 1 and 2 are awesome. Absolutely. Yeah, you can go back and watch it, Ginger. It's still up there. It's still up there. It was a good time, and we're going to do it again. And as a matter of fact, once we're done with our members live today, I'm going to message him. I'm glad you guys reminded me. But he's done a lot of work on this case. And after we did our live, it was a great benefit to Silvers, because I had not realized he had not been in contact with Dog and AtNight's team. And he was searching out there by himself. And he let me know after our live that it was very beneficial, because they got in touch with him and were going to helped him out a little bit. So that was nice too, because here's Silvers out there, you know, pounding the ground and doing all that. And after the live, you know, they reached out to him, and he thanked me. He said it was great for me because now I have a resource. So they're really helpful. Yes, let's get my likes up to 350. Thank you, you all. Awesome. Someone said, why is Justin? Well, let's not discuss other creators in the chat, please, my friends. Wait, I just saw something. Shirley H. says, at Crime Time Buzz, my caretaker has family in Mexico. Can you send this to me in an email so I can send it to her family? Yes. Can you please email me, Shirley, and in the subject line say family in Mexico, and that will remind me to send that to you. Okay? So I do still have his lives in my video, his live with us doing it together in my videos. I don't remember the title and I don't remember the month. It was before Christmas, I believe. Yeah, maybe October, November. He's on, I put him on the thumbnail, so you'll see him on there. Okay. And he's great. Oh, of course they've looked. Yes, I agree with you, GA64. So I will, I'll try and find the title for that. Charlene says, do you think CP is behind the ransom? No. Oops. To throw it off them. I know many of you have been reaching out to me with that theory. I can't give you an answer. Did it cross my mind? Yes, because there's been so much weird stuff going on. Yes. Thank you, Funtisky. Thank you. Yes, there's one in Spanish. And do you want me to send the one in Spanish or the one in English, Shirley? So just terrible. I know. Did they investigate the skull with the nug in it? Doesn't matter if it's not Sebastian's, right? I mean, the whole thing is just a mess. I am going to ask Silvers if he will share with you all. He did on that last live about finding that, but I will ask him to share some things that he thought when he found that. Okay. I don't know if I don't know, but I we'll discuss it. Okay. So but we're going to bring him on. We're going to do it. I look forward to him coming back on. Let's keep reading this. Now, this is there. Here's the one in Spanish. Okay. And then there's one in English. So I can send them both to you, actually, is what I will do. Thank you, Shirley, for doing that. I appreciate that. So 5 hours ago, the one in Spanish came out. They've been doing a lot in Spanish, just in case. They retweeted this about because corruption in South Carolina. This is the one we first read. I'm just making sure. Here's the one with the new bulletin board, just so I can show it to you all. That is the new bulletin board. So let's talk about that for a second. You're going to make some coffee. Do you guys mind if I pause for a second and do the same? I'm going to pause just for a second while you look at this. I need to get something to drink. My throat's getting a little sore because I do want to talk. Oh my goodness, Carmelita, I would love that. Where is your cousin a reporter? Please, yes, let me know where. They said it was plastic, but come on, Silvers was holding it. Okay. Wait a minute. Now let me see. I'm going to mute for a second. I just want to see. Yes, Carmelita, if you could please could you put me and your cousin in contact? Would that be possible? Or I can send you a press release. Can you just give me some information? And I would be more than happy to do that. crimetimebuzz@gmail.com. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. He's a very nice man. Okay, I'm going to mute for one. I'm going to mute for 1 minute because I think we need to talk about some things and then we'll get off of here. But let me just get a drink real quick. Okay, I got my Coke Zero. The thing that's important to this, and this is a huge message, because, ooh, street tacos, my favorite. They were all put on notice, and it went to Kash Patel, the Trumps, the White House, you know, all over. U.S. Attorney General, Tennessee Attorney General, you name it. The FBI was put on notice, the TBI, Sumner County, and actually National Center for Missing and Exploited Children because of during the ransom thing. Okay. Now, that was a couple of days ago. And yesterday, 2 days after that, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has come up and aligned next to Dog the Bounty Hunter. I think that is a huge message. That means they are not standing by that silence. Okay? That means they are standing with Dog to find Sebastian. That's huge. Because who won't stand with Dog to find Sebastian? Sumner County. Right? Hi, Kendall. Good to see you. It's been a bit. Great to see you. Hi, Michelle Scott. So that's a huge message. That is a huge message. Okay. So that's the billboard. I wonder where it is. I will try and find out where it is. My email is crimetimebuzz@gmail.com. I sure will. I'm coming right now to look at Carmelita's response. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Absolutely. Oh, is she in Mexico? Is she a reporter in Mexico? No, I did not, just Jana. I did not. Marshall Owasa in Arizona. I did not. I have searched for Daniel Robinson here in Arizona. Oh, Carmelita, that would be wonderful. Yes, I will send it. It's in Spanish too, so I will send it if she's a reporter, and if you'll let me know when she's going to report on it, I would love that. So please, yes, and I will also let AtNight and them know that we'll have someone reporting in Mexico. If we can get her to do that, that would be great. Oh, I just saw that GA64. I didn't even think about that. I hadn't even thought about that because I was so thrilled of the message. She said, this Blipboard's a dig because Seth is the only parent actively looking, in my opinion. I didn't even see it that way. You know how I saw it? Yes, Vanilla. We started our show with a moment of silence and recognizing some of the victims and going over it a little bit of the floods in Texas. We did. I absolutely, the whole thing, but I didn't look at it like that. See, I saw it as how many kids are usually, oftentimes their captors will tell them, your parents don't love you. Your parents don't want you back. They're not looking for you. They've moved. So I was looking at it like that. Yes, that message needs to be out there in case Sebastian sees it. Your dad is looking for you, Sebastian Rogers. I didn't see it the way you're seeing it, that it only says dad. But I see it now. Yeah, you're right. I was seeing it as a message to Sebastian, not a message to KP. But I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying. Oh, really? Interesting. No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I've searched for Daniel, but not the other individual. I'm actually going to go do some footage around for the Emily Pike case here shortly. Right, GA, you too. Back at ya. Great ways to look at it. There's two strong messages in there, aren't there? One to Sebastian and one to someone else. But there's also a strong message to Sumner County and TBI. And what is that? That notice took National Center for Missing and Exploited Children to reach out, use their tip line rather than the others or whatever, and use their tip line on the billboards for Sebastian. And that's huge. Yes. Raymond, email me about that. Put that on in the subject line too. We can talk about that. That's something we can really talk about. I've been wanting to do one for summer for a long time. So let's talk about that. Please. crimetimebuzz@gmail.com, Raymond. That is something I've been wanting to do for summer too for a very long time. And now that T is in play, in my opinion, unless, is there a reason? Okay, we have a T. Let's just talk about it. Now National Center, they were on notice. They're now standing beside the search for Sebastian with Dog the Bounty Hunter. What does that look like for Sumner County? He's not said a word. Lead detective hasn't said a word. The sheriff hasn't said a word. TBI hasn't said a word. They said a word on behalf of Summer Wells. And remember, we were talking the other night. Now, their TBI is now going to start searching for Summer. They contacted the parents because she was included in that putting on notice. They want her case taken over by FBI too. So TBI, the next 2 days later, contacted Candace and Don. They're going to start searching below the house on the road. Why didn't TBI contact regarding Sebastian? That's really speculative to me. Now, National Center for Missing Exploited Children is standing beside the search for Sebastian with Dog the Bounty Hunter. What do you think Sumner County thinks of that? They won't even answer. So when they said in the beginning, the TBI agent in the first few days, he said where he is, he's not coming back from. I believe that was the big T. And if they are that much of a bunch of people who would leave a child in that situation because they're not qualified to go get him, then you call in the U.S. Marshals if that's the circumstance. Okay? And if he's deceased and you knew it at that time, then you damn well better go and recover him. So there's no excuse about the things that have been going on. Yes, Raymond, please, please, please. Yes. That's just awesome. Can you get an Apple link for what? Kitty Catty, what do you want an Apple link for? Oh, Michelle Scott, the cop at the command center who left the neighborhood vigil that first Tuesday night in tears saying it's so bad. He is the neighbor behind the Proudfoots, Chrissy. And he is a part-time motorcycle cop for Hendersonville. He was at the command center. So when he was riding around when they were collecting dispatch said when they were collecting footage. His is the footage. He has footage, in my opinion. Well, yes. He has audio, night vision, and 7 cameras. Okay. Hi, Marie. Good to see you. But so he is the one who was also at the command center. And Tuesday night, now mind you, Tuesday night at that vigil in the neighborhood, Sebastian was reported Monday. He had been at the command center, so the neighbors asked him, how are things going? What's happening? And he teared up and tears rolling down his face and said, it's so bad. So they were watching that, that footage. It's so bad. And he left the vigil. So that was Tuesday night. So they had already seen what was so bad. They already knew what was so bad. Right? But National Center's now on the billboard, and that's a huge message after what just happened. We still do not have Sumner County responding about anything about Sebastian. What do they know? Why won't they search when a tip says he's alive? That worries me. The Bristol, Virginia sighting. Seth got in the car and drove there. They had the tip and never called, never contacted, never reached out. What do they know? Or are they just not investigating tips? Is it all tips they're not investigating, or just tips that are proving he's alive? What is going on? If it weren't for Dog and AtNight, absolutely, this would have been cold a year ago. a year ago would have been cold. And there would have been a sheriff collecting you guys want to know how much he makes? Let's look it up. I'll tell you. Not a lot, and let's not forget the perks. I wonder if this is enough to pay for the 4 houses he owns. Let's look. Okay. So they're estimating he makes about $102,450. Let me look. I'm looking though more. I'm getting more. Okay, so this is Sumner County salaries. Let me just share this with you. I'll share this with you from Glassdoor. So you can no, they're not following up. You're right. So that makes me feel better. Thank you, Diana, because I was worrying that it was just ones where there was proof of life. There's got to be a reason they're not investigating tips, because it might lead to something they don't want to lead to, or they haven't investigated, or they don't want to for some reason. They know something that happened that they didn't do anything about it, and they're going to all go to jail because of it. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I really am. But what was I just looking? Oh, let me share this with you. So for those, because we have a local in here who says the locals they don't care to do anything about this. He's the golden boy, right? He's the golden boy. So a sheriff makes $102,000. A deputy sheriff, oh, sorry. Well, I'll just tell you. The deputy sheriff, which is what I'm assuming Carter makes $63,000 to $86,000, and the sheriff $102,000. So the only detective on the case is making. Is he a deputy sheriff or a deputy? Anyway, from $66,000 to $99,000, their deputies make. Their deputy sheriff $63,000 to $86,000. So he's one or the other. Okay. So he's making anywhere close to $80,000 to $100,000, maybe $65,000 to $100,000, but I doubt it's on the low end, the lowest end. And your sheriff is making 6 figures. Sheriff is making 6 figures. And the Brandon Carter, who has 1 case, Sebastian Rogers, is making anywhere from $66,000 to $99,000. Now, if you want to continue paying him, that's a lot of money. That's your hard-earned tax-paying money to someone who didn't answer a ransom, didn't go into action, allegedly. A sheriff who still hasn't answered. Sheriff who hasn't said Sebastian's name. 6 figures you're all paying for him to sit there and watch things come across his desk and give no explanations to the public about their safety, to anyone. So, yeah, it's terrible. 6 figures. So he's sitting there collecting a pretty penny. He owns allegedly 4 houses. 2 were put into his wife's name. That's a lot of money. But he bought 4 houses. Okay. So I think that there is, I'm glad BHB is planning a peaceful protest. I'm going to go listen to what she's saying. It's serious, but it's even more serious message that National Center for Missing and Exploited Children got on board with Dog and AtNight. They won't be silent anymore. I know, Gypsy. I've heard from the sheriff's sales, which is a huge conflict of interest. So you got to just kind of do your digging there. Yeah, it's terrible. And that's alleged. It's not it's not listed as whom you think it is. No, it's not. Yes, Shirley H., it's not listed as whom you think it is. And no, Nick Barris hasn't said a word about anything. I've noticed as well. But remember, when he has called out foul play and the lights, when he's the one who leaked the lights, remember what happened? He had to come right back and say, oh, no, it's trash trucks. And remember when he went out and was talking about foul play and this and that? And then minutes later, I mean, people were saying, what is wrong with him? He was saying, don't talk bad about the Profoots. There's no foul play. You could get sued. He was going on and on. So when he only releases what Craddock tells him to, allegedly, he says he's inside with the sheriff's office, but when he releases what they don't want, he retracts it immediately. What we've seen so far, allegedly. Y'all, you have to do your own research. I'm not don't want to talk about it on here. Okay, do your research. I'm sorry, I just can't. I don't want to sit on here and chitty chatty about it. So, apparently Bullhorn Betty is working on the peaceful protest that I mentioned in the beginning. So we will do whatever we can to assist, be there in force. If you're local, I'm far away, but I will do whatever I can to do my part. If you are going, well, let me reach out to BHP, see what I can do to help. Okay. So yes, what a coincidence, right? Right, Joe? Mm-hmm. Yepers. Hi, Kiki. Oh, I hope you enjoyed your vacation. You know, a lot of people think Craddock is well aware of the whole situation. Now, I wish he would come out and put a statement to that. And I know he sees it all over social media. And social media, social media has completely circulated his snuggle trouble comment with his picture right next to it. I mean, it's his face, him saying it. Just hope none of your children are assaulted there if you live in Sumner County or Ard, because then they'll be told it was snuggle trouble. Anyway, you all, thank you so much for being here. We are going to be doing a members live here. We got a lot to talk about. We'll get a little bit more into the nitty gritty. I appreciate each and every one of you. I've gifted 5 memberships this week. I will be gifting 5 next week before our next members live. I want as many of you to join in. We have a great time together. We always end up getting into something that takes us down a path. So we will be in there. Hey, Carla HH. I would vote for Seth for sheriff. Absolutely. I agree, Mini Panthers. Good to see you all. I'll see you at members live soon. And I will be putting out a video later tonight on what we covered for our individuals who like it short and to the point. Thank you all for being here. Good to see you. I appreciate you. And mods, there are no words to the way you run this chat. You are stellar and you rock. See you all in about 45 minutes. Give my voice a little rest. Talk soon, everyone. Justice for Sebastian Rogers. Dog the Bounty Hunter, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children AtNight teaming up for Sebastian Rogers with Seth Rogers. Where is Sumner County? Where is TBI? Why would TBI respond to that notice and start searching for Summer, but not Sebastian? Is it the difference in the 2 agents, Bobby Simmons versus Tony Allen? Or is it the difference in the children, Sebastian or Summer? What is going on? Please hit that thumbs up. Let's get this out there, and I will see you all shortly, and I'll have a video out for the rest of you, and I'll be back on live. So keep keeping on. And until then, we will talk soon. Look for Unplugged tomorrow, my friends.